Today I'm sitting with my mother, my hero, my everything, my partner in crime, and we're just excited to share where we've been, where we're going next, and what's to come. So, Mom, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I'm nervous.
I can see so.
Guys, you've seen my story, and you've seen what I try to do every day, and how I'm trying to motivate and trying to be strong. My mom next to me sees the other side of it. She sees, first she's a part of it, so she's a part of this whole journey. But she sees the back end of all of it. And I think it's also amazing for you to finally get to know my rock and why I'm here today and why I continue to strive. And you start to actually hear from her yourself. I think you're incredible, Mom, firstly. And again, I'm so grateful. I'm like, it's hard to do a podcast with you. It's like, it's very hard. It's not easy because of what we've been through. And I think let's jump back. Let's go through. The first thing I want to ask you is, because I want to know a little bit. I want to know a little bit personally from my side. You were 16 when you had me. Firstly, what was that like? Like you were alone, like you and Dad were 16 and 17 years old, and you had me. You never finished it. Like, how was that process? You never finished school. How was that whole journey?
It was, yeah, I mean, it was hard. In my mind at that time, I was a kid. I was a little kid having a kid in school, but I had to take responsibility, not blame anybody else, and I had to grow up immediately. I had to become somebody, a role model. I had to sit and make decisions as to what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. And I had to drop out of school because back then, if you weren't married, you couldn't stay in school. If you're pregnant, and not just that, obviously had to live. I had to feed you, I had to nappy you, I had to look after you. So jumping straight into work, moving out of my my mom's house, and into my own place at 17 with a little baby. It was tough. But you know what? We went through a lot of trials and tribulations, nights where we couldn't eat because I had to make sure you had formula and nappies and stuff, where your dad and I would just eat dry bread for dinner. But that is what we had to do. Would I go back and change it now? No. It made me strong. It made me grow up. It made me independent. It made me dream. It made me see things from a different perspective. And I had to fight for survival. And I think that is what our family is about. We've had to fight for survival. And it's gotten us to this point of where we are today is because we had to go through all that. Nothing was given to us. We had to work very hard.
Would you say that hard time is what created that fire in you?
Yes. Was it easy at the time? No.
It doesn't make sense.
It was like, very, very hard. Yeah, nothing made sense. One thing that I learned in my life through going through all of that, being so young, having to become a young mom, having to fight. I mean, I still went on to do my matric, but I matriculated, I think, when I was 25. I had to do it part-time, and I just never gave up. I eventually got my master's degree at 38. I was 38 years old when I got my master's degree in business. So I still fought for it. It took me longer than most people because I had to work and raise a kid, and
two kids. You had a second one.
Second kid as
My
well,
brother.
yeah. It took me longer, but I never gave up. And I think that's the lesson it taught me in life, was to, no matter what situation you're in, anything is possible. And it was when going through all of those tribulations and going through all the hard times, you sort of got to sit back and think about how you can change your life and how you want to change your life, and not get stuck in what's happening around you and society and whatever is happening around you. So it's about what can I do to change. And one thing that made the difference, and it's the way I brought you and Dean up, is to never quit, is to never give in, believe what you want to believe in something. I don't know if you can remember the times when we would drive to school and I would say to you, just make sure whatever you do, I don't care what it is that you do, but just make sure when you wake up every morning, you are happy. It's not about money. I said to you, the money will come. And I used to always say to you, make sure you don't get stuck in the system where you just wake up and go for a job just for the money every single morning, you're unhappy. And that is something I drilled into your guys' heads. And not to have children at 16. But
that was a big one.
That was a big one. Every time you used to go out.
Sheldon.
I don't want to see any grandchildren until 30, hey? 30 was the target.
I went a bit early, but
that's fine. It was just don't make the same mistakes I did.
And what I loved about your mom, it was the leading by example. It was talking us. So like every time anything went wrong, my mom would always sit us down and explain it. I think that was a huge thing for any parents out there. Like whenever you see something happen, you sit down and you just explain it. My mom just always explained it. What I love secondly above it is leading by example, was going and getting your matric at 25, then going and getting your master's and doing these things. Like you've never quit, which is a huge thing.
No, I won't
and that spark was obviously through the struggle. It was through us. I believe also having kids is a big one. How was I as a kid?
You know what?
I'd love to know.
I actually, I had it quite easy with you guys. I think I used to get phone calls from your teachers that you didn't like finishing your work and homework and stuff like that. That was definitely the no-nos. But, I mean, you were always at sports, you know, baseball. You were the outdoor kid. You're always out. I'm always trying to work hard to get money to get you to your tournaments. I was at all your games, you know, sitting on the side of the field. I was that mom sitting on the side of the field and pushing you for your sports. You were very sporty and you loved it. You were always a team person, always. You didn't like to fly solo. And I mean, you can see it today even with where we are and where you are now, wanting to just help people. You bring people together. You don't like to work against people. And that is something that I've seen in you as a kid. And I've always believed in you, and I've always believed in Dean. Don't undersell yourself. Just go for it. Just go to the moon.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you've been unfolding in front of my eyes. It's amazing to watch as a mother. I'm so glad you guys listened.
I think that was a big one.
Is so glad. Dean's still getting there. But you listened and you just unfolded. I can remember you, I still remember driving to school one day and you just said to me, Mom, I'll never work for a boss. Those were your words to me. I was like, okay, good. Go for it, you know. And then, and then putting you into college and you just didn't, this wasn't you.
I think you just wanted me to complete something.
That was it. My words to you, I didn't care about if you got your degree and you had to go and have a job and work for it. I didn't want that. I just wanted you to, that was more the discipline in completing a task, enrolling for something and finishing it. That was the lesson that I wanted to learn. And I never
understood it, and I probably understand it more today than ever, is that finishing. Like what you say is what you do.
Yes.
And these are big things we're going to talk about here today. Now, I do want to apologize now as it stands because you didn't have a lot of money then. Like you didn't. Like you would. So like my parents got divorced, I think when I was 16. And then you were alone with us two. While doing your MBA, while doing all those sort of things. And building your way up in a business. And you sent me to college and I wasted your money twice, like a lot of it. And I am sorry for that. But now I sit and I think and I'm like, I understood that you weren't just guiding me in this direction that I need to go do this. Because I struggled. Like I couldn't listen to a teacher and you have to do this. And then we have to go do 2 years and then go get a job and then this and that. And it's just like, I couldn't. So I bunked a lot of those lessons that you don't know of.
It's fine.
But like,
Payback's coming.
it is coming. It is coming. I know it is. You control
You're
the
already
business.
paying
You
back.
have all the finances now. Yeah.
Crypto's helped us pay it back.
Crypto's helped us pay it back.
There's a big difference.
But now I understand. It was just that getting that
It's the
completion.
discipline.
It's
It's just the discipline in finishing something. I didn't expect you to go get a job in that field. I just wanted you to have something and accomplish something.
Imagine
That
I
was
was
it.
an engineer now.
No, yeah. It doesn't make sense now, but it wasn't your journey. You must remember life's going to take us on the journey of where we're going to go. So for me, it's you don't even have to apologize because it was part of your journey. It's where you are today. You probably wouldn't be here today if that happened. So I think we just need to embrace what has happened and to just know that,
Well, it makes sense now.
No, it makes sense now.
Now we sit to me like,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean,
okay.
of course, life's not a destination, it's a journey. It doesn't stop. So wherever we go, we just need to realize, I think if you just sit back and realize the lesson, okay, why am I here? And just, okay, let's, go with it and just let it.
Am I crazy to sit and think that our lives are, the path is there to where we want to get? I think it's us that like go off at times, you know what I mean? And then we're the ones that create our own like distractions.
No, we are.
But when you allow life to flow and you just don't fight it and things happen sometimes,
happen.
you had to have us young. You had to go through those struggles. Like it makes sense later.
No, it
and the
definitely
more
does.
you fight it is actually like how it prolongs it.
Yeah.
Like how it like more and more and more. And that's a big thing that I don't think people understand is that like, we're always fighting life and we're always trying to fight why this is happening right now. How many times have you done it in the car?
Plenty.
Why?
Yeah.
Why me? You know what I mean? And you get this whole like think like I still do it. I still don't understand what's going on. But
you know what it is? I think we are our own worst enemies. A lot of people self-sabotage. A lot of people, they don't stop to smell the roses and to actually think what is going on. And I think if there's small things that people need to adapt and change in life, even the words we speak. The words you speak is probably one of the main reasons as to why your life is going in a certain direction. It's because of the way you're thinking and things that you're saying. When my life changed was when I started changing the way I thought about things and the way I spoke about things. It's just wherever you want to go, set the example, set it in your mind and go. And that's what I taught you guys as kids, and I'm just seeing how it's all unfolding for you in the space. Yeah.
Well, let's speak about the unfolding. I think let's jump into the time that COVID came in, the start of this whole crypto journey. And that was crazy how it just came. So I started a little carpentry business. You were pretty happy, I think. Like, I started something. And I dropped out of college and obviously started this business. And then all of a sudden, Mom, give me money, like let's buy this coin. And I come home and I'm like, let's buy this thing. I start explaining to her, I'm like, Mom, it's backed by gold. Like, we will not lose our money. Gold is only going up. You can't print more gold, Mom. And I'm like, this thing's gonna happen, remember?
Yeah.
And I remember you went through it and your response was, Sheldon, it's a scam.
It's a scam, yeah.
It's a scam. And I'm like, Mom, I'm telling you it's different this time. It's not a scam. This thing's real.
Still
it's crazy how they like.
You still got the guys to phone me and talk to me about it. I was from the beginning. I'm like, no, this is a scam. No, it's a scam.
But then something changed.
Yeah, something did change. I started believing into it. But you know what? Let's be honest here. Let's be real here. It was part of our journey. We were supposed to be scammed.
But what was your reaction to me, like coming home and like, because something changed where you actually joined me a little bit on the journey?
Yeah. I think it was when I went to go meet the people and I saw it, because everybody got scammed. Even the people that were convincing us to join it, they weren't part of the scam. They got scammed as well. So, and they did sell a good story. It did eventually creep up on me. And not just that, it's, you had obviously, you had quite a serious motorbike accident when you were 16 as well. You're in hospital, you got pins in your arms and everything like that from your motorbike accident. Mother's worst phone call to receive. You had to stop baseball, everything, because your knee was damaged, scars on your face, everything was from that motorbike accident, quite a bad one. And you had received some money from that. And we had put that away for your future, and I wanted to try grow it for you and we were still looking at investing and all of that. So when you came with this investment, and I was like, remember, it took about a month for you to change my mind about it. And eventually I'm like, okay, let's take some of your money and put it in there then. Because number one, it's something that you really wanted. You were fighting for it. It gave you light. It was something where you felt was needed and was good. And I always support your decisions. If I think you're wrong, I'll tell you you're wrong, but I'm not going to hold you back from it. And I supported the decision and in the end of it. And I joined you on the journey with it. Okay, you want to do it? Let's do it. Let's see where this takes us. Let's do it.
Let's get scammed together.
Yeah, let's get scammed together. And we did that, and we put the money in. But I think the scamming was part of the journey, because if that scam didn't happen,
never have gone into the crypto.
we wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be in the space, because the people we met along the road when we got scammed is the reason why you are here
Some of them
in
are still
Crypto
here today.
Banter. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, let's be honest, we got scammed. It was horrible at the time. It was devastating at the time. But again, if we sit now and think about it, it was part of the journey, right? Because you wouldn't have been here in this where you are with Banter if the scam didn't happen. Because the people,
none of it would have happened.
Because the people you met in the scam is what's led to where you are now, and they're still a part of the journey. So yes, we got scammed. It was horrible, but it was a learning curve. We learned a lesson from it, and I think it's also one of the main reasons why you got into wanting to teach people and crypto school and sniper school and the shows was to teach people to not give your money to anybody else.
I think we took that. I spoke just now about having the path. I think we tested all the different.
We jumped off cliffs and we didn't do the straight line.
Because I know, like, we sit here and it's like it's a part of the journey and it's amazing, but ultimately at that time it was devastating.
No, it wasn't.
And I know many people went through a lot of that stuff as well. Luna was a big one. Celsius, all these ones were massive ones. And I think they just got to understand that it was another lesson that basically just came into your life, and you just got to trust the process. You cannot quit. That's the big one. So I think the craziest thing about the scam was how it, guys, there's a noise in the background. We've literally cut the podcast like 3 times. We're going, okay? So we'll make the sound as best as we can. But what was crazy about the scam that got me, it sold me on everything. But I got to put myself back into that place. It was like you guys were struggling. It wasn't like it was just a normal, like you guys worked hard, and you were also like on this uphill. Feels like you're getting there, but there was always something. Now we also had my crazy dad, which also didn't make it easy. He did drink at times. He did create chaos at times. He put you through a lot. And I think it's a big reason for your strength today. I do think he did come in to strengthen you up, definitely. But it was that vision of like, it can finally change. So I sold do you remember how fast it was?
Yeah.
Mom, I'm selling my car. Like, Sheldon, what are you doing? Like, I'm selling my car. I'm selling the business. I'm selling my tools. I'm selling everything.
Yes.
And I just bought and bought.
Got more involved.
Involved. And I think what you enjoyed about the whole thing was I was getting out and I was meeting people and all these sort of things. And then the one day came where it literally, the actual exchange froze and we just couldn't withdraw anything.
Yeah.
And I remember that day. That was a very rough day.
Yeah.
It got a lot worse. But yeah, we basically lost everything.
Yeah.
We lost everything. All of that savings that I got from the accident, everything that we had for the future was all erased. Do you remember that time?
I do.
That was
do. For me, it wasn't really so much, I think, because of what I had been through in life and all the struggles. It was very easy for me to overcome financial stress. What hurt me was seeing you hurting and because you were still young, you still have to go through all of that. I had been there, and to see you crumble from being like this motivator and be crumbled by a scam was the heartbreaking part for me.
Well, it was like the end of the dream for me. I was like, what the hell? Like, this was finally going to change everything.
You thought it was a break.
I thought it was going to change everything.
Yeah.
I literally did, and then it just completely shut down. And then the worst part is, I had like a couple $100. I know you had a couple of $100 too. And we decided to invest in March 2020, sorry, 2020. And I think it was 2 weeks in, and the COVID crash happened.
Yeah.
So we bought, not only did we get scammed, I think there's two ways you get into crypto. You get scammed, which I'm sure a lot of you in the audience will know. And the second one is you buy at the top. That's definitely one that I know many people have done. That's like your proper entry to crypto. Yeah. Don't worry, it happens to everyone. We decided to do both.
Yeah.
To get scammed for 99% of our money and then buy the top. Because I literally bought Bitcoin at 10,000 and
you know
10 days later, 4,000.
I think let's touch on that a bit, because I think, why do a lot of people not believe in the crypto space, and why do a lot of people think that crypto is a scam? Is not because crypto itself is a scam. It's because there's a lot of scams inside the crypto space. There's vulnerability. It's the people and companies that come into the space that are scamming people out of getting their crypto. And people misperceive that. And the world sees crypto as a scam because, oh, my friend got scammed and lost all their money. They don't realize that it's not the crypto that was a scam. It's the people they get involved with. And that was one of, I've asked you that question before about getting into the whole crypto space, because let's go back a little bit. And what made you decide to get into crypto? We just got scammed. What was it that sparked to say, okay, now I'm going to trade in the crypto space? We just got scammed in the crypto space, but now I'm going to trade. And I still remember it was something that sparked us to say, we're not going to be scammed anymore. Let's learn to do it ourselves, because that was the safer space to do, is to learn how to do it ourselves, so we don't have to give our money to anybody else to do it, so that we don't get scammed again.
Yeah, it was like this combination. And the combination was, first I was devastated, and I'm like, okay, and I just sold my whole business. I don't have an education, a higher education. I can't get a job. It's very hard to get a job in South Africa. So I didn't have that. I had a couple $100. I had the laptop, and I had obviously the house to pay and stuff like that. And what was beautiful about it was we had the crypto, the March crash, but we also had lockdown. So it was, I'm like, what? So crypto never sleeps. Okay, so if I really wanted, I can do it with this 400. And we had to stay at home for 3 months. We couldn't leave the house.
Yes.
So lockdown came and shut everything down. That was
crypto never sleeps, and Sheldon never slept.
I never slept. It was so bad. I would literally sit with this laptop. You saw it how many times? Right next to my face, every single night.
Get up in the middle of the night, and there's the laptop on next to Sheldon, and alarms are going off all through the night.
And it's so bad. Like, I got into leverage, obviously, and I got into a lot of leverage, and it worked a lot of times. But it literally drove me crazy. But I think I got obsessed. I actually watched a Conor McGregor thing the other day, and he says, if you want to succeed in something, you have to be a little bit crazy about it, or like a little bit psycho about it. You have to go to that level if you really want to succeed in it. And I was literally so stuck to that computer. I am here today in this space because I put in those hours. I remember the amount of hours that I put in. No one stayed awake more than me when it came to that time.
No, you fought hard for it. You fought very hard for it, and I think it's
I didn't accept it. I was like, this is not it.
You're not going to let it get you. Yeah.
This is not right. And the whole world, like everything just, lockdown came and everything just worked in the favor of it.
Yeah.
Stay at home now and make it happen.
Yeah.
The biggest shift that I made at that time, I stopped going out completely. I probably didn't see many friends and many people for a while, and I just because before the scam, I was so proud of this scam and this project that I was telling everyone, I'm like, guys, you want to do this, you want to get into this whole sort of thing. And when this all fell down, I was just like, you know what, why am I trying to impress others? Why am I trying to do these things? And I said, I'm just going to go quiet for a year. No one's going to know where I am. No one's going to know what I'm doing. And that's obviously where it gets quite sensitive. But this is where I dedicated to it, and it started to happen.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you started to trade with me.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, I think that also, I remember you when you said you will not let that defeat you. Not only did you sit and trade every single day, every single night, sleep with your laptop next to your head, you also started investing in yourself. You started reading books, and you would not read a book. You would not just read any book unless it taught you a lesson. So it had to be anything about how millionaires.
TV was a big one.
Even movies. Sheldon, you refused to watch a movie unless it taught you a lesson. So all documentaries on how people got rich, all documentaries on millionaires. Sheldon, you were just reading books, watching movies, watching episodes. You were educating your mind, and you refused to let it defeat you.
I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, no.
Like, I knew it.
Yeah, I know.
I just, I was pissed off that it happened the way it did. And I was like,
I
what's
know.
going on? And it was a few months of obviously the crazy trading. You joined the party, and that's a big one. Like, what was this? So just to put in context, my mom was building a business at that time. It was something you built for a while. I remember you always said, like, we're going to be millionaires. We're going to do it. And throughout, being a parent, obviously the work, you worked full time. You were building this business in the background the whole time.
Yeah, I thought the business was going to be our break. And it took me, I developed a software program. It took me 8 years to design it, and then hire a developer to develop the software program. And I thought that was going to be the break. I was working a job and doing that also. Same boat you're on. This is our break, But lockdown taught such a good lesson. A lot of people see it as bad, and it was bad. It was hard. People lost people, and people lost jobs and stuff like that. But lockdown for me taught a very, very good lesson. It taught us to reevaluate our lives. It taught us to connect with family again. It taught us a lesson that anything can happen to destruct our lives at any time. It was an awakening. It was an awakening call, lockdown, and I appreciated that it actually happened, because one thing that made me realize was I had been building something for 8 years in the corporate space. And when lockdown happened, it just completely shut. I was told I couldn't operate, and and the customers just started disappearing. Seeing you getting into the trading space, and Greg was getting into the trading space as well. And everybody was trading around, and I started slowly but surely, okay, let me try. I think I tried with like $5. I still phoned you, and I said, I turned $5 into $12 or something like that.
Yeah.
I took $5 to $12, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting this. I'm getting the feeling for this. And when I started doing the trading, I started feeling the sense of freedom. I started getting the sense of there's no employees, there's no customers. I'm the employee, I'm the customer. I'm in control of the space. What decisions I make is what my outcome is going to be. And I started thinking about this. I'm like, wow, this is like...
You're the boss, there's no
you're the boss,
employees,
you do everything.
there's no nothing. Like
if you make a stupid decision, you at fault. You can learn from as many people as you can, but you at the end of the day are in control of it. And I started liking this idea, and okay, this is quite nice. And guess what? We are in lockdown, and the market is booming. Everybody's on their computers, everybody's trading. And the market doesn't shut down. When there's lockdowns, the market doesn't shut down. The market is always there. Whenever you wake up in the morning, the market is there. There's always a trade. That was when we started taking turns at nighttime. Okay, I'm going to sleep. It's your turn. Wake up. Okay, and we would take turns. I still remember the nights where, Mom.
No, I was crying. It's not even like I was crying.
I need help.
I said, Mom, I'm about to lose everything we have.
Everything you had built up.
Everything. And you sat with me the whole night.
Yeah, we sat till early hours of the morning, climbed out of bed, put my gown on.
Guys, this is actually crazy. It was XRP, and there was some news or something, and I traded this whole thing up, and it fell. And I was like busy doing stuff, and I phoned my mom, and I'm like, Mom, this thing's going, like, this is our last bit. Because I was the first one that was trading, Like I was holding like majority of the money. So between all of our savings, between everything, I was holding it. And it just went south, and it went really south. And there was some bad news, but I'm talking about a 60% drop, like really bad. And for my mom, and I was crying. I'm like, Mom, we're about to lose everything. I'm about to have a heart attack. Like, what is going on? I remember that was like a crazy night. And my mom sat and she like sold off, and she's like, just
I
calm
just
down,
said to him,
just
give me
breathe.
the reins. Give
Just
me the
breathe.
reins.
Give me the stuff.
Get off. I'm logging in.
No, my mom's only ever traded like $10. Now we're like, here we go.
Yeah,
my
take
mom's
on
like,
this beast.
You take on the beast. And I remember that it fell down to 20 cents. 20.05. Our liquidation was at 20.01.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, we bought at 60. So 60 cents is where we bought. It fell all the way down. Our liquidation, and this was every single cent. We would not be sitting here today if that liquidation hit. Like it was
but
literally
we babied it and we beat it.
No, we did, but that's the incredible. If you don't believe that life has got your back, like we literally went like this. And my stomach, I don't know about you, but I've thrown up 3 times from crypto because I've that was probably the 4th time that we nearly lost everything. Yeah. That was the really bad night there because we built a lot in that time, and we nearly lost, I think it was $50,000 at that time. But I remember throwing up from these liquidations because I would put all my money in and all these sort of things.
But that was the whole learning curve about it, and I think that's what makes it so special with your shows and with Sniper School, is that it's exactly the words is you've taken the bullets, we've taken the bullets, and we are sharing so that the community don't have to take the bullets. We've been there, we've done the wrong, we've done the greed, we've done the FOMO, we've
it taught us risk management, it taught everything. It taught us to start splitting, to start building different things. And then taught me the skill of like little bits and trade for as you go. And that's where we started a good uptrend. Yeah. We started building nicely. I started paying rent and stuff, and then obviously
bought your
car. Not yet. Like obviously in between that was the week. It was the crazy week.
Yeah.
Obviously the phone call with Dad. For those who don't know, my dad committed suicide. Obviously that was a really big shock. The partner that I had that time as well, it was a Sunday night. We broke up. I slept by you that night. The next morning, my mom called. How was that, Mom?
Yeah, it was. That was a tough phone call that I had. Yeah.
No, but you telling me that was the big one. My mom called me outside, and she's like, "They found your dad's body," and that was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? How was that, Mom? Like, obviously, you had the phone call before telling me.
It was definitely hard. I mean, we all know that your dad was in a bad space for a long time.
So COVID also hit him pretty hard too.
Yeah.
He started losing hours at work, and he was in a little room.
He was in a very bad space. So it wasn't the first time that he wanted to commit suicide. So I think it was, at the time, it was very hard to believe. I still didn't even want to tell you until I'd physically seen his body, because I didn't want to put you guys through that again, of not knowing if your dad's committed suicide or not. We'd been through it plenty times before, and it could have just been another issue where he says he was going to do it or not. So I actually knew about it for about an hour or so before. I had to make sure somebody had to go and physically see his body before they, well, not physically see his body because they wouldn't, because of the police, but get notification from the person who found him to whatever. And that's when, obviously, I told you about it. So, yeah, it was very, very difficult. That was a very difficult day.
Yeah, it was a great time.
And I think one thing that you were fighting for as well, getting into the crypto space, was to try and help change your dad's life as well.
I sat with Dean like 3 weeks before we found like him passing, and I remember I'm like, in 3 months, because I started getting it right. I started getting trading right. I started getting the understanding of the game. I had a few months in it, and I'm like, 3 months, I can open Dad a little shop. Like, he can start his car. Like, I just had this vision my whole life for both of you. that, like, I'm going to give you guys what you deserve. You guys gave your everything for us. You did absolutely everything. And that's what pisses me off. And I'm going to be honest about it. It was that obviously it all happens for a reason. We know that now.
Yeah.
But it was that 3 weeks before. And that was obviously a big shock and a great moment. And another point again where I just wanted to possibly quit. Or I remember you just said, like, just get away, or just like you just pushed me away. And I ended up also moving out of
sent you to Cape Town.
You sent me to Cape Town. You did send me to Cape
Go
Town.
to Cape Town, go stay with our friends, you need to get away.
Yeah, you sent me away. And then at that time, I was still living with the partner. So you guys went and packed up all my stuff.
Yeah,
we had
packed up
3 dogs, 4 dogs. So it was a crazy year. It was a crazy year of scam for everything, buying the top, learning how to trade, being addicted to this leverage and trading and stuff, then losing my dad.
And your granddad.
Then losing my granddad, your dad.
My dad passed away as well.
Lockdown,
yeah.
and at the same time. Losing my house, not having the business anymore, and it was just it was a crazy time. And then obviously from that we got up again, started seeing friends again and stuff there, and then I was just going into that bad place where the alcohol was just consuming, and smoking weed, and all these things were just big things. And that's when I said, Mom, I'm buying a car. We bought the car, and I'm like, I'm leaving, and I'm going across, and ended up going across the country to Breton, and then Belito, to Keegan, in PE, and then ended up in Worcester. And then they are a huge part. Shout out to Warren, Claire, to the other side of the family. They also played a huge role in just keeping me from destroying myself at that time. Guys, when you go through something bad like that, and something that's really hard, you need to understand something. You're probably roaring with the most energy you've ever had in your life. Like, you're probably at the point where you can make the biggest shift in your life if you use it correctly. It's also the time that it can completely destroy you. And that's the big thing. The biggest lesson that I can give you is get out. Like, just leave, be with yourself, and think clearly. Because at that time is the most sensitive time where a big shift can happen in your life. And because I left, it ended up me being by my uncle and them for a while, and get a phone call from Craig, let's go to Cape Town. Okay, cool, let's go for lunch, go upstairs. What's this Banter thing? Meeting run.
Who's this run guy?
Who's run? Everything was self-taught.
I still remember I had watched some of his shows, and when you said to me, I'm meeting some guy run, and I said, you said to me on the phone, Mom, I'm meeting some guy run. I don't know who he is. I'm like, I've watched a couple of his shows already. No, he's going to. Oh, okay. I don't know who he is. I don't know. And I was still filling you in on the phone who he is and what he does. It
was crazy. And that's when Craig came outside and he called me. He's like, Sheldon, you must go on that show. He's like, I see it. I see the future. You're way better than these guys. Like, you need to go on. And I'm like, what do you mean? I need to it makes no sense. And we ended up meeting him, having the dinner. Until you guys have heard the story. And
but just to go one step back, not many people know that.
They want me to move the toilet paper roll.
Is that what most people don't know is before Banter, Sheldon, Craig, Rudo, and Lee had started a master trades.
A little business, we tried.
A little school about crypto, teaching people crypto. And it was a small community, but it did well. You guys were on every single day with them. But it was a paid prescription where people had to pay to join your Zoom calls and stuff like that.
Yes.
And that was something that you didn't
we had like 50
like.
people.
Yeah, you didn't like about was people having to pay for things. So that was one thing I think that also attracted you to the Banter was you could teach for free and not have to charge.
What is your thoughts seeing me on the first show on Banter. Because I just went through this now. You just seen all of
Yeah.
this happen, and like now I left the thing, and I'm all of a sudden on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm quite sensitive I'm a strong person, but when it comes to my children, that's my soft spot. Most people know. And sometimes I get too nervous for you, I can't watch. I'll go in and sneak because you can't not watch. But even like on the shows, I know, and we'll probably get to that now, even when you and Run would clash heads on the shows, I have to switch off because
You get angry.
protective mommy bear steps in, and I do. I have to. I'm connected in that way. So I was very nervous for you, and it was almost a case of I want to see what you're doing and watching, but it's like I can't watch because I'm scared. I'm like so scared about what's going to happen or what's going to unfold, you know. But it was very exciting to see. I knew you could do it. I mean, you were giving good calls. You were on a streak of giving good calls. You were experienced already now in what you were doing. You had, we were in the right market. We were in a lovely market. I can't wait for that market to be back. And I mean, you were right. I mean, you just gave calls on that show, and they were just all happening and happening. The community loved it. They really jumped onto the Sheldon. And I still remember you were still, when you went on, you were Sheldon.
Yeah.
Sheldon, the trader, remember?
Yeah.
And somebody, it was you or Run, one day just said on the show, guys, what should we call him? And one of the community members said, Sniper. And we went through the messages and comments, and we found Sniper. And it's like, okay, Sheldon the Sniper. And that's how your name came. It was a community member that said Sniper, Sheldon the Sniper. And from that day, Sheldon the Sniper formed.
It's crazy.
Was born.
It's 3 days in, and we started the shows, and
Yeah.
it's still not. I think it's just over 2 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think let's talk about Banter, but I think there's a lot I want to talk about it too. Obviously, it's been incredibly important to me, and I appreciate it so much to Run, to Banter, to everyone that's given me the opportunity to share my voice. I think that was the biggest thing. I didn't know that I was going to be a crypto presenter. If you had to tell me like 3 years ago that I'm going to be a crypto presenter, it was very far from what I thought. I always sat every night and I tried to study and get myself ahead because I knew that there's an opportunity, and I knew one day I'm going to meet the right person. So when I watched those movies every night, like I watched people, and I watched Warren Buffett and Steve Jobs, and I watched their lives, and I'm like, what are these guys doing? And Warren Buffett's incredible business, 95% of his time in the office all the time, not with his family, not with his things. And I started to just understand what I wanted to be when it happened. And when it happened, I never knew it was going to happen in this way. So we came in a raging bull market. Everything obviously rampaged up. We built huge. I think I had 100,000 Twitter followers in my first month or first 6 weeks. And all of a sudden, I think Dad was only passed away for like 5 months after that actually happened. So everything just went like completely upside down, like completely. I'm living in Cape Town now. I had to come live here. I had no way. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know.
Sheldon used to phone me. Mom, I'm staying another night. I need Airbnb at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I need Airbnb.
Yeah, please can you give me somewhere to stay?
Every day I'm finding Airbnbs for Sheldon. He was living in his car, Airbnbs, doesn't know where he's going tomorrow, what he's doing.
My bag in the boot. It was crazy.
It was
Yeah.
And then we would just be on the phone every single day, looking at charts together, before the shows. We prepped, finding, we had a whole team. We got Craig behind us. We had Ruda, and then we're part of the team still back then. And it was just like, yeah, let's make this happen. Let's find the stuff. Let's find it. And I mean, it was a
so what actually happened, this is what's the truth. And like, I don't know if it'll work for you, just like have a level head on it when you do it. But when my dad passed, it was like 2 weeks after, I watched Yes Man. Now, if you know that Jim Carrey Yes Man, where he has to say yes to everything. I decided to do this in my life, where it was like, from this day, I watched a movie and I was pumped. I'm like, I'm just going to say yes to everything. And that's why I ended up going cross country and across everywhere and saying yes to Banter, saying yes to the dinner, saying yes to trying the show, just saying yes. And then I looked later, I'm like, what the hell did I just do? Because everything just,
But
it created everything.
it has created everything.
It
but
did.
but
It's
you
a big thing.
you still Mr. Yes Man. I have to step in and behind. Sheldon says yes. No.
I still have it in. I'm still trying to drill it out. No, it's very true. It's very true.
I have to step in and calm the yeses down
I
because
still say yes all the time.
Sheldon says yes to everything.
Too.
So Crypto Banter, not just Crypto Banter, but I think the whole idea of being in the limelight and people following you and all of that, it looks so easy probably to most person on the other side of the camera. They don't really know what goes on behind the scenes, all the hard work, the team, the expenses, the long hours, the nights. I mean, you'd be up all night prepping for shows the next day because it's not something you can prep weeks in advance. You're a TA guy. You're not fundamental. Fundamentals can take time. TA is what's happening now in the market. So there's a lot of stresses that go into the TA. And your shows aren't really prepped. It's as what's happening live, maybe on a higher time frame and all of that. But I think what most people don't see is the pressures that you actually have to go through, and you're doing this all for them and for yourself because you want to teach people, and help people. But you've helped a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that have come forward and said how you've helped them as well. So we know that not just your TA calls, but your inspiration, your motivation, what you've been through. I remember when your story was revealed on Crypto Banter. For anybody who hasn't watched it, can go watch my story revealed on the Banter website. The amount of messages we had to deal with, emails, Twitter messages, where everybody could relate to you.
Thousands.
Where people's parents had committed suicide, where they wanted to commit suicide, but how they'd watched your story had changed the way they'd thought and given them hope. You've inspired a lot of people. You've changed a lot of people's lives. And you're quite hard on yourself. You don't pat yourself on the back. So first of all, before I get into it, I want to say I'm so proud of you. Well done on what you've achieved and what you've done. I know it hasn't been easy. I've seen what goes on in the back end. I've watched how it's broken you. And we're going to get into the nitty-gritties now about it. But I have seen how much it has taken out of you and how much you've put into it. So first of all, well done on pushing through. Well done on creating a better world and a better space. I'm very proud of you. And I'm very glad that you listened about where you want to be and pushing forward and reaching your dreams. Because I see how it's starting to unfold in front of my eyes. So I just want to know I'm very proud of you. And I'm sure the whole world is very proud of you. And you need to be proud of yourself. The pressures, let's talk about the pressures. I mean...
Yeah. So when I started off, firstly, thank you. It means a lot to me. I'm still trying to get that proudness of myself, and like I said, I'm beating myself up a lot of the times. So coming into Banter, I'm this guy that's giving calls and stuff like that. That's amazing. I thought the world worked a lot more simpler, and I just thought things were pretty easy. So for me, it was just I'm trading and I'm just doing stuff in front of them and just teaching along the journey. Not to know that thousands of people probably taking similar trades. 1,000 people are putting crazy money on these things and selling cars, selling houses, taking loans, doing all these things. I had no idea when it came to these things. And it's not my fault at the end of the day. I know that. But I felt incredibly guilty. I never pat myself on. I called that whole bull market incredibly well.
Yes.
Because we know that because our bank balance went up a lot. So I know we called it incredibly well. But I never gave myself any props for that. It was more when it came down, where it came down from 65,000 to 30,000 in 2-3 weeks. By then, I had 150,000 views per day. For sure, I had 150,000 traders behind me. It's my first time. So what people don't understand is I was just in that market as new as anyone else. I was 9 months in crypto ever since I joined Crypto Banter. 9 months ever. It was my first bull market. Yes, I learned the skill and the stuff like that, but I was still figuring out what this market is. I knew the skill of how to take trades and how to make money, but I didn't know how this market moves. I didn't know. Everything was in price discovery. Where's Bitcoin going? And it was amazing. And yes, it was fantastic to see all the love and all the stuff with that. But it also taught me a lesson that 50% of that audience turned on me when it went wrong.
Yeah. So I think let's touch on the community. I mean, the community can be quite harsh sometimes. I think a lot of there's a lot of love and support from the community, but there can be a lot of backlash. I mean, how do you cope with that mentally and like emotionally? Me, I have to switch the chats off, and because me as a mother bear, I want to get angry, but I don't get angry.
I have my
just
friends, I have everyone, like they fight with people because you'll have like, and that's the big thing that I'm still trying to deal with. I'll have 20 good messages and I'll have 2 bad ones. And the bad ones will drive me nuts for the whole day. Like they'll literally like,
they do affect you badly.
and I stopped. This was a big mistake that I did make along the journey, is I stopped worrying. Like I didn't take any consideration or even cared about the good ones anymore. It was always just me trying to find the bad ones and trying to like prove myself right, because guys, let's be honest, in my own head I was telling myself the same thing.
But you were taking the trades along with the community.
I was doing everything, but in the same thing in my head there, like, you know, I was also like, am I this? Am I that? You know, I'm a human. You know, I still sit there and it's like, what is this? Everything's just happening and stuff. So I took it a lot to offense in the beginning. And then I started getting people to help with my social medias and take that away from me. Yes. You guys saw immediately what it did to me. It just destroyed me. Yeah. I'm just trying to be a human that's not afraid to learn in front of you.
And you're sharing your journey with them.
No, I'm sharing my journey, but I'm taking risk in front of you. I'm doing everything in front of you as a perfect example. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong in front of you. Yeah. But it's stop worrying about how much, like, it's not about how hard you get hit, it's about how you get up, right? Every time I go higher. Imagine I quit when things went wrong, when dad happened and when all these things happened. You know, we just bounce back harder every time. And for me, it was just, guys, these bumps are going to come along the road, but just watch how I grow levels every time. That's why we're doing this podcast today. You don't even know what we've been building. We went quiet for a little while because we're building. I am never going to give up, ever, ever, ever. You taught me that. Never, ever, ever give up on any of these things. And no one controls it but you. So how I handle it at the moment is I actually stay away from it, if I must be honest. The ones that are meant to come through. I have, to everyone that has sent messages and stuff, I have seen a lot of them, and I appreciate it with all my heart. I really, really, really do. But I have to protect myself too, because it's not all just nice out there. Like, it does get pretty bad. I've had people saying I want to smash my face in and these things. Like, it's, guys, I'm just trying to be an example out there, and just trying to change my own life in front of your eyes. And that's why I sort of stepped a little bit away from that, because people are very ugly. They're very ugly, and I get it. Like, I'd also be upset with the money, but you need to understand that in crypto, you are the boss. You are the one that pushes, and you need to take what you hear, and you need to make your own decisions. And I just didn't know the influence was so big. I really didn't know it was so big. I just thought it was me.
I think also a problem with a lot of that is that a lot of people want you to do the work for them. And when things go wrong, they get quite mean about it. This is what I've seen.
That's very
true. But then you've got the people who are learning from you and learning with you along the journey. And those are the true community. Those are the true people that are trying to figure it out for themselves. It's the people who don't want to do something for themselves, and they're too lazy to learn.
It's someone always to blame, right?
And it's to blame somebody else.
If you're going to be that, you're never going to make it in this world. Maybe this time you're going to just keep bumping your head along the journey. Like, you have to stop that whole sort of thing. But what's crazy now is I still get 20, 30, 40,000 views on my shows. You know that 90% of them are still from day one.
Now you've got loyal fans. You've got some really good loyal fans.
And for me, that's why I fight for. So if you want to say, how do I stay strong? I care about those people. People that watch this podcast, the people that are part of the journey. We're all going to make it. All of my friends told me I'm an idiot when I got into crypto. Everyone told me the shit's not going to work. And I'm not saying anything. My mom told me it's a scam. Like, don't do this. You know what I mean? Like, this was the mentality of a lot at that time. And when you do it, it is so incredible. Guys, it's the journey, because when you get there, it's like, is that it?
Yeah.
I remember getting on top there and it's like, I've just built this following. I'm staying in a penthouse in Cape Town. I have all these sort of things. And
when it came fast.
It came extremely fast, and you have to be ready. That's why like probably 95% of the planet are not rich, because you won't handle it. It will kill you if it comes in.
And people give up too quickly, and they get scared, and and people don't like change, and we change. It is also good. So there was a stage when you wanted to leave Banter. Take us through your head there. Like what's
So firstly, with Banter, like I love the company and stuff like that. It was just, it got to a point where there was a lot of voices in my ear as well. And what I mean by that is just like, I didn't know that this world's so serious as well. So when I started getting this following and stuff, like things have to be done in these ways, and they have to be done like this, and we have to this, and especially when like it started taking away from me. And that was the big thing. I started losing myself along the journey. I was afraid of losing myself. You taught me that money never means anything. And I was so lonely, because you love me when I'm good and then you hate me when I'm bad. I'm like, who are you? Like, do you guys really give a shit about me? Or you're just using me for when I'm good? And the amount of these people that I attracted when I got money and I got success was incredible. The amount of friends, the amount of people that love me, 90% of them are not here anymore. And it's like, where are you when the shit goes bad? So I was really disappointed to reality. I was really disappointed to, this is the truth? Is this really how people are? Do they give up this easy? Do they blame this easy? Are they quitters? Like, what is this? Because it's a hard game, right? Calls can go good. I'm having 150,000 views. Things can go bad for 2 weeks. I'm on 70,000 views. I'll literally lose 55%. 75,000 people will just stop. And for me, it was just really hard to understand why people are like this. And I started questioning myself. And I'm like, is it me? Is it this? Is it that? And it started to bring the side of me where I got in my own head. I had to start spending time with myself again, and I realized that I'm very sad inside. I never got past Dad. I never got past all these sort of things. And when all of this hit, we went through months of a bear market, and all these people just putting this pressure on me every day. The market's come down another 20%. I got to get out of bed. I'm depressed as hell. I can't get up. I got to go do a show. We have sponsors. I can't miss a show. We have this. I can't miss a show. Like, I started getting to this point where it's just like, it was really hard. I felt so alone. I may have had thousands of followers and thousands of people love me. I felt so alone. Like, I was completely lost. And I nearly made the decision. I spoke to Ron and I'm like, bro, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Money, all these things is great and stuff like that, but I can't stay for money. And he told me to take 2 months off. And that's when I took 2 months off. I took 2 months off. That was crazy. That was 2022. That was probably one of my most craziest years. I took the time off. I started to get into, I think, was that the karting phase? I think it was the karting. I think I started to get into all these different things. I started experimenting, and I just tried to find who is Sheldon. So I opened a personal channel. I created Chosen Ones. I started racing. I started a podcast. I just started everything. I just started hiring. I just started building. I was like it's like a mini midlife crisis. What do you call it? Like, I don't know what I want. Like, I don't know what I want. Like, I'm empty inside. Why am I empty? And I started to, this is one thing, guys, you need to understand about me. If I know that I'm not true and real to you, and I'm not happy, like, I can't be there anymore. And I'm not going to pretend like everything is fine. Like, I got to that point where it was, if I really don't have the spark anymore, I'm not going to be any benefit to you guys anymore. And that was just
But
my
I think
thoughts in it.
that's one of the lessons your dad taught you in life was if you ain't true to yourself, you ain't true to no one.
That's true.
And that's one thing that I suppose will
That's
always
very
stick.
true. But then I went through this whole like popcorn phase. Create. I just started taking on this whole yes man thing, went on steroids, and I went through this like crazy run.
So we're going to go through that. I want to go through that journey with you because, I mean, it's been quite fun. I mean, that's where we are today. And I think we need to share that. But I just want to, I know there's one more thing that's been bothering you quite badly. And I want you to be able to get it off your chest is because you've received a lot of flack from the community about it. And nobody really knows what goes on behind the scenes. The $400 to $1 million challenge. I know that's something that bothers you to today.
It does.
And from my side, we all know how you take 400 to $1 million because we've seen it, right? And
yeah, that I don't need to prove to anyone. That
yeah,
we've had,
no, you don't need to prove it to anybody.
So many people part of it, yeah.
But you wanted to share this experience with people, all right? And from my side, what I saw from a lot of the community is they thought it was a get-rich-quick scheme, and it's like you don't have to work hard for it. It's just like it's got to come and go and flow, and it put a lot more pressure on you. I still say to you, Sheldon, you don't need to do this with the guys. Keep it your secret, as the mommy protective bear. Keep on creating your own $400 to $1 million. Not sharing it with everybody, but you wanted to share it with people. You want to share your knowledge. You wanted to show people how to do it, right? And we started the challenge, and it started off well, right?
So
I think everybody needs to understand why it came to an end.
So why it firstly started, and that's why I was going to leave Banter and I was sad and stuff, was I started doing like macro shows and high time frames. I'm a trader. So I had to start doing all this different stuff that wasn't me. And when I left, when I was going to leave Banter and Ron told me to take the break, that's where I really sat and I'm like, what do I want to do? And I'm like, why don't I just start what I came in to do? And let me just trade. Let me trade in front of the audience. And I came up with this method and the system of the $400 to $1 million challenge. Because it's been done. And I had this whole beautiful thing in play, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be the guy that puts his face there and actually tries to attempt something like this in front of a live audience. The big thing that I always want to do is I just want to show you that it can be done. If you see me that it could be done, and you've seen that I make this stuff, like it's going to inspire you to go and these sort of things. And we started it. And when we started it off, it took off. I think we had 4,000. Carl was there. We had 4,000 people live. Next one was 5,000. Next one was 9,000. Fourth one, 15,000 people live. Okay. What did I want to do? I just wanted to trade my account on the internet and show people how it's done. Not knowing that 15,000 people are taking similar trades. Not understanding that I'm entering into a world that I have no idea what to do. No idea at all. Guys,
we lost control based on that. You couldn't control it anymore because you had the masses behind you.
It was just going, and I started to understand that, whoa, this is uncharted territory. And it was so hard for me, guys. Like, it was so hard for me, to stop. It was like, it ate me inside. Because I knew I was letting you guys down. And I beat myself up about that stuff all the time, which I shouldn't, but I do. I really, really do. But I had to stop it because the volume was incredible, and I'm entering a game where a lot of people could have got hurt, and I didn't know about it. And I said to myself that I'm gonna get taken a lot of hate about this. I'm gonna take a lot of hit, but I have to stop it. And you know what? Blame me. Like, make it seem like I can't do it, or whatever it may be. Whatever you may want to throw at me, go for it.
Because we became a whale.
So people
and it
were
just wasn't the right
counter-trading
thing to
and,
do.
yeah,
It just wasn't the right thing to do. It would have been done better with a smaller group, right?
No, it would have. And so what the big thing was, guys, is because it's open to the internet and stuff like that, you were getting really big accounts counter-trading too. So it's open. Imagine you got 15,000 people and you know what they're trading. Like it's, it just creates these things. I didn't know this stuff. I'm like, let me just trade in front of them. And it created this big thing. And by
It was a big risk.
I think it was about 6 weeks in, and we called it and we shut it down. And I knew it was going to take sack. I still take sack today from it. I take a lot from it. But I couldn't put you guys through that. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know it came with that.
Yeah. And I think also another problem that we found was because everybody was taking the same trades, and everyone would have the same stop loss. Stop losses work on open orders. And because there was 15,000 people with the same stop losses, people's stop losses weren't activating because we've got this whole army of stop losses going off. So people, some were getting stopped, some weren't. And it was just creating,
Guys,
it was getting too big for what we could handle.
It was the biggest live trading show in the world by its 4th episode.
Yeah.
It was getting 120,000 views in 8 hours.
Yeah.
Like it was huge. I imagine it kept going. Then what? 30,000, 50,000, 100,000. So it was a lesson for all of us. But did it stop me? I'm still doing shows. I'm still continuing.
And I think another reason why we had to stop that challenge was we were getting messages. People, the comments would be like, Sheldon would say, okay, take a trade here, How do I set a stop loss? How do I've just it's on 20x leverage. How do I change it to 10?
It's so bad.
And we started reading these comments and we're like, we're giving trades to people who do not understand what they are doing.
No
and
idea.
that is where Sniper School came out and we said, this challenge, we will trade with people who have attended Sniper School.
So
People
guys,
who have attended Sniper School, they've learned the basics, they know what to do in Sniper School, they will be able to attend trading sessions and all of that because people were getting wrecked on the lives because they didn't know how to trade and they were taking these live trades. They didn't want to do the work and learn the basics of how to do it. So we had to protect the community.
They came in, they didn't know, and that's dangerous, guys. It's very dangerous. So what I decided to do was stop, took a breather for a little bit of time, and we let's educate. Let's get back to why we joined Crypto Banter. Why did we join it? We came here to teach and not to allow the things. So that's where the inspiration came for Sniper School and how to start off on Sniper School. It came through this thing of seeing firstly how much people really want it, which is incredible, and having the opportunity to sit with people and see how they think. And those live training sessions taught me so much because it's like, it taught me how people think and what they really need to know and how inexperienced people are and how irresponsible they are. And it's like, we need to do this. We need to take all this information and let's do it right. That's exactly where we built the whole school.
Built one of the best sniper schools.
14,000 people.
One of the best crypto schools in the world. The best crypto school in the world. The finishing rate is unbelievable of students that finish Sniper School.
Yeah, we got 72%. 72?
Finishing
70?
rate?
83%.
83%.
83% completion, guys. That's one of the best things on the...
Best. We're building an army of proper traders who can look after themselves and build this as a future, not being spoon-fed.
If you had to give me the two options, would you make someone help them get $1 million, or would you teach them the skill for life? I'll choose the skill for life every time. So that's what we decided to do. So Sniper School, my mom's joined me on the journey. Why? Because we got to speak about your trading. You're a badass with trading and things like that. Guys, it was through everything we've learned, through our whole entire team. It's a whole family that we've built. Everything, and we decided to create this course, and then we decided to create the live trading sessions that you get once you finish the school. So let me train you, let me give you all of the equipment that you need to make a huge success for your life, that if I'm not there anymore, you can make it happen, you can do it. And when you do make the money, you can keep it. And for the next 10 years, you can go change your life, and then you can teach other people to change their lives, and you can make that happen. That, I promise you, I'll do my absolute everything to give to you guys. And it is working. We have a school that's just performing tremendously right now. We have up to 14,000 students that's already attended. I don't even know many schools that have that sort of size. It's working. People are actually making money. People are actually understanding it. It's incredible. And then you have someone like my mom, which knows how to trade. You trade crazy, you trade big amounts. You trade very high leverage at times. Not super high, but you trade great leverage. And I think you're just a huge inspiration to this whole thing. Like, what do you have to say for someone like you, being a mom of 2, and this whole
3.
journey, 3, sorry, I have a sister, she's like 4 years old now, I forgot. How did you incorporate this with your life, and like, what's your message to people that anyone can do this actually, if they really want to? If they really want to do it, they can.
Definitely. There's no hold bars on this. I mean, one thing that crypto has taught me is it gives you freedom. You can choose what type of trader you want to be. You can do it while being a mom. You can do it part-time. You can do it full-time. Crypto has created a space where I don't worry about retirement. Crypto has created a space for me where I don't worry about having to pay things. Yes, it took us a while to learn and to get there. And this is why I encourage everybody to get involved. Learn school, pay your school fees, meaning trading and losing a little bit here or there, but learning the lessons, because it's a skill you can have for the rest of your life. Nobody can take it from you. If crypto isn't around one day, or it's whatever, there's the markets. The markets will always be there. There will always be a trade available. It'll always be there. So it's that little bit of hope that it gives you, that you're not going to be retrenched. You're not, because it's always going to be there. Nobody's going to, and it also gives you that, it takes you out of the control of life, because you always feel you're controlled. You're controlled by so much, and it's just given me a space of freedom.
Don't you like it that if you really need money tomorrow, you can sit the whole night, and you can make it happen?
But that's exactly it. I mean, the reason why we could go to Switzerland for Christmas and go skiing was because we decided a while ago, a year before the time, and say, okay, we want to go to Switzerland. That's what we want to do. We didn't ask anybody for the money. We didn't have to
sell our portfolio.
We didn't have anything. We literally sat and said, okay, this is what we need. Okay, let's trade for the flights. Trade. Okay.
Business class.
Book the flights.
And that's the beautiful thing. You could spoil yourself. We went business class, the whole family, which is huge, guys. Like, for us, it's like business class. Like, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
But look how we could spoil. And you don't feel bad about it because you traded for it. Spend the damn money. Go for it. Go crazy with it. It's incredible.
And it's like, we need accommodation. Okay, let's spend it. We need money for Christmas. Okay, let's trade for it. And we trade for what we want.
What is your message to moms out there? There's many moms that are alone too, that like throughout this space and things like that. I think you're a big inspiration to moms as well. What is those that don't have a partner? You've been through that road. You've been through that journey. What's one of your biggest, I wouldn't say lessons, but what words would you say to them that's coming in here? Because I'm seeing the mom audience grow a lot in crypto school, in sniper school. I'm seeing all the moms pop up, and they're like, oh, what's up? And they love this like son and mom duo and things like that.
Well, I mean, first of all, I get to trade with you every day, with my son. I mean, it's a mother's dream to trade together as a family and achieve goals together as a family. So not only is it a sniper school that we do in prep for the shows, we do it in our personal capacity as well. So I get to spend most of my time with you, which most parents can't when their children are at the house, you know. So for me, that is great. For the moms out there, anything is possible and everything is possible. Don't be your own worst enemy. I still remember the one day you phoned me. I was in the kitchen cooking a meal, cooking dinner, busy getting Riley sorted and everything else. And you phoned me, Mom, there's a trade coming. I'm like, okay. Run to the office, get my computer's next to the stove. I'm cooking. I'm on the trade. You were going live, and there was nobody to handle the back end. So I got into StreamYard. I'm trading. I've got StreamYard on. I'm cooking. I'm sorting Riley out, and I'm operating in the kitchen. And it was fun. It was fun, you know. It's like you still put me on camera, and I'm in my kitchen with pots and pans, and you know, and it's just how. It's just to determine how badly do you want it. Fight for it. Do it for yourself. learn the skill. Once you got the skill, you are completely set to go. Sniper School gives you everything you need to know. It's not just Sheldon's brain, my brain. You've got a whole team behind brain that has gone into it to teach you how to become self-sufficient and to do it for yourself. Take it, don't take it, learn from it, but learn for yourself. Learn the mistakes that we've made, learn from the content and stuff that's been given, but just do it for yourself. Just do it for yourself.
Don't blame anyone.
Just do it
Don't
for
do
you.
nothing. Just do
Mom,
it and make it happen.
Dad, scholar, university, retired, doesn't matter where you are. Anybody can do this. Once you've got it, and it just gives you also form such a great community and become so much a part of a community, and you start having a new set of people in your life, new guidance, people who are on your level, and who want more. I feel a lot of people in the crypto space want more, and they go getters, And I mean, that's one thing for us. Crypto has just changed our lives.
I do like all the like-minded people in crypto, the people that you meet and stuff. Go to crypto conventions, do all these sort of things, get the course and get out in the field. Watch the shows every day, start to learn the skill and just be committed. If you can commit for a year or two, go through a huge-ass bull run, go through a huge-ass bear market, and go a sideways boring market, you're qualified. You get your badge and you're fine. You survive that, you're in it. You're in crypto for the rest of life. You can be in any market out there and you'll absolutely cream it. It's that easy, guys. It's about surviving the early stage. The early stage is there. It makes you a lot of money in the beginning, gets you googly-eyed, it gets you in love. Then it whips your ass, and it whips your ass for a long time. It tries to filter you out. You get through that, and then it just becomes this ease where you can pop on at any point. You want to become this person, and that's incredible, but you have to level up. It does mean the exercise. It does mean the eating right. It does mean the just getting your mentality to a whole nother level to survive this period, because it does try drain you. It does try do all these sort of things. You do that and you level up that way and you stay committed, you guys are going to make it. I'll see you all at the top. That's exactly that's where we're going.
No,
I'm not
definitely.
stopping.
And I mean, look what else crypto has created for you. It's not only the crypto space, but it's obviously allowed you to be able to do that. Personal channel. Let's get onto the personal channel. What was your motivation behind the personal channel?
So the personal channel is very important to me because crypto has put me on this incredible journey of so much happening. And the problem is, I won't say the problem, but people only see me on screen every day talking about crypto and things like that. They don't see what it's really doing. They haven't seen that we've managed to move the whole family to Cape Town. That's not there. They don't see how it's saved so many people and how it's like incredibly changed our lives. I got a beautiful daughter, I'm getting married, all these sort of things. Like crypto has allowed so many things in the back end to happen that I'm so grateful for. People don't get to see that. So the idea of the personal channel was for me to actually be raw and to show them the good and the bad. Like why now is it only 2 years down the line and I'm speaking about all of these things, how the comments actually, how there's people that attack me, that this and that, and why I stopped this and the $400 to $1 million. Why am I only speaking about it now? And that's what the personal channel is to show the other side of what it actually is. I want to do podcasts. I want to hear other people's stories. I want to keep inspiring you that everyone has a different story, but people are getting through it. And I just want to keep motivating you guys and keep showing that your life, it's not that hard. I know a lot of our lives are hard, but it's actually not. It's a lot easier than what we think.
Everybody's got a story or
Everyone's
something
got a story.
to learn from. And I think the motivational channel is a place where people, because a lot of times people feel that they are the only ones in that position. They're the only ones that got it tough.
I thought I was one of the only ones who my dad committed suicide until I said the story and I had 1,000 people send me messages. I've also lost my parents to suicide. And it's like, what?
And I think the personal channel is a nice space where you can share those stories, not just you, because you're interviewing other people as well, as to that everybody has a story. Not everybody's life might look amazing, but it might not be amazing. People are going through hard times, and I think if we realize that we're not alone, and you get to learn the person's story and how they conquered it, and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It'll just give so much inspiration out there to a lot of people. And I think that's what the personal channel is all about.
I think it's about realness, truth. I want them to see 2 weeks ago I collapsed in the office. 1 week ago I collapsed again. My body burns out at times. My mind gives in now and then. I go through depression phases. But every day you see me, yo, what's up, Banter fam? What's happening? And I jump into this mode. I just want to be honest with you guys. I want you to know the realness of what it actually takes to be successful, because you don't get to see that side. So the personal channel, the real side of things, that my life's not, it's fantastic, yes, but it's also not easy at times. It's really hard. And I just want to open that. So we got podcasts, we got vlogs, we got so many different things that's coming. And this is why we started off with this. I just wanted to release the weight on my shoulder. I kept thinking that it's my fault that the $400 to $1 million challenge didn't go through. I kept thinking that maybe I don't have the skill. I kept beating myself up. And that's why I slowed down on the personal channel, because I was just like lost, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And now I'm so happy that I've gotten to sit and speak to you and just release all the weight and to get going again. And to, we've built so much. Guys, we're sitting in our first head office right now. And this is something that's incredible for us. We've always wanted, we never had the money to buy houses and things like that. We've always wanted to create and do that stuff. And we finally took the step of getting our first head office. And you're sitting in it now, or you're watching now, when it's all completely raw. We're about to have like all these ramps formed here, a man cave. Very excited for the man cave. We have offices upstairs. And this is it's a home for us. I know you've enjoyed it very much. My mom's now running the entire business. My mom runs all the finances for the sniper, for the chosen ones, for everything. She's in charge of all the staff. She's the one that's running. And that was a big thing. You gave up your company for me. You gave up your whole company. You built this thing for 8 years and you shut it all down to be with me.
Hey, I had you at 16. I ain't letting go of you now. I'm going to make sure you pull through right to the end.
You dropped it all. Like, was it like...
Sheldon and I always had a joke together. We're going to be in the same old age home together. Because I had him at 16, I'm going to chase him in my wheelchair and he's going to kill you in the old age home.
It's true.
Yeah, no, you've been a part of my life since I was 16 years old. More than half of my life. And obviously watching you creating all the stuff around, seeing your purpose. You want to save the world. I know that's what you want to do, because you want to save people in the finance space, in the crypto space. You want to bring a motivational channel to maybe avoid somebody committing suicide or going down the same roads that we've been in, and just letting people know that the struggle is real, but you can get out of it. And also trying to help your friends through the chosen ones. Sheldon is the superhero. He is saving the world. And you're Pinky and I'm the brain. I'm here to help you achieve your dreams, because I see the realness. I see what you want to achieve. I've got your back. I'm going to help you achieve it. We're in the crypto space, which links up with all of this. So from the finance point of view, it just gets us through. And that is why I've dropped my company. That is why I've dropped my business. And I've come to join this journey for you.
You believe in what I'm doing, Mom?
I believe in what you're doing. And I know it's going to be successful. Every little thing you do is going to be successful.
We're going to fill the stadium one day.
Clip
this. And walk out there and it's going to be like, I'm probably going to break down completely. Like, I know we're going to do it.
Watch this space.
We sat, guys. For us, it's a big moment. It's a huge moment to have a head office and to have these things. We sat about 4 years ago in the car on Ace Street. And I remember that was when we lost everything and things were very tough. And we looked at each other and like, Mom, you're going to retire by 45 years old. Mom, you're going to retire by 45. And you were always like, just positive. Yes, we will retire, my son. Of course we will. And stuff like that. And I remember how we were sitting. We're like, we don't know how, but we're gonna. You still got like 2 years, 1 year.
Tell everybody my age.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry. Well, they sort of know.
Okay.
But it's gonna happen, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe that we're gonna make it
can't wait.
happen? Like, it's like incredible. No, but it's just like,
No,
we've
it's gonna
done it.
happen.
Like,
No,
we're at the
it's gonna
point where we have
happen.
nothing to prove. We got a head office here.
Yeah.
We have everything that we get to work with each other every day. Like, we've done it. We've gone beyond. And just a huge ass shout out to us.
Definitely.
Like, it is incredible, Mom. Like,
No,
I'm so proud. I'm so grateful every day that I wake up. Like, doesn't matter how bad my days are now. I am just so grateful. I'm like beyond grateful of how this has all turned out.
Everybody's got something to be grateful for every day. And I think before everybody goes to bed at night time, just find what your gratefulness is for the day. Whether it's, I always say to my boys, whether it's a warm bed, whether it's you had a piece of bread, doesn't matter what it is, just find those positives and those gratitudes every single day. Everybody will find 5 things to be grateful for every single day. Don't go to sleep thinking about the bad. Think about the good, no matter what situation you're in. And I think that was something that also taught you a good lesson in life, is to appreciate and to stay real and to appreciate what's been happening around.
And now we share it on with the boys. We have chosen ones.
The chosen ones. What were you thinking?
So, do you want the honest?
Yes.
I don't know if I've told you, but you want to know the honest reason why I created Chosen Ones. When we lost Dad, it was, I've explained it already, like, it was the hardest thing ever. But what it made me realize was people are going to go. People are going to leave. They're not going to be here all the time. All these moments, we are in this room right now. One day, someone's not going to be there anymore. And I didn't know it was real. I really didn't. And Dad was a big wake-up call for me for that. And it's put so much, I wouldn't say anxiety in me, but it's like, I have this fear of time now. I have this absolute fear of time. I feel that I don't know when I'm going, I don't know when anyone's going. This is what it's created. It's created this huge fear in me. And it's not fair that I'm on one part of the country and all the people that I really love on the other side. I don't know when any of them could ever not be here anymore. So I decided to put my money in. I forgot how to have fun through just focusing on crypto all the time. I was lonely. I was in a bad place. And I decided to create this thing where I bring my best friends, best people that are in my life that love me before the money, love me before crypto. And let's travel the world, or let's travel the country, and let's do stuff together, and let's figure it out. Right now it's starting off as like this game show and stuff like that, which was a little bit of the idea in the beginning, but the main thing was just to start. If I must be honest, it's just an excuse to see that.
Yeah. But you know what? You guys are having fun.
We're having fun.
They're
huge.
appreciating it.
Mom, it's going to become massive. We
they
know how
are
big
able
it's
to
gonna
be
come.
real. I know there's been a lot of some remarks about people, about the way it is, but you're allowing them to be real in who they are. It's not fake. And it's about having fun and adventure. And there's a lot coming in, and I think it's
so
I've been working with the team, and it's very exciting.
The way it works is all these friends, they watch my shows every day. They're inspired. They've seen Sheldon do it now. They're motivated. They stuck. A lot of them have lost their dads. A lot of them are stuff like they just don't know how to break through. So I decided, like, let's create this TV show where we play with each other and we go across the country and we do stuff. The main thing was just to finally get them out and to see a whole nother world out there. These boys are roaring with talents. They have incredible stories. And if they all change their lives in front of your eyes, it's going to become 10 times more the inspiration of what I've just done throughout my time. So for me, it's this, it's starting off like this. Never judge a person at where they start. Always judge them where they finish. Like, always. There's no thing about it. These boys are going to do something incredible. They want, half of them are dads. They want to change it for their kids. They want to do these things. I believe in these guys. We're creating a story where 10 guys from Boksburg came together and changed all their lives together. Because I am not going to drive a Lamborghini alone. I'm not going to drive a Bugatti alone. I'm not going to be in my private jet alone. I want my best friends with me. And I believe in every single one of them. It doesn't matter where they start now. They are doing incredible. They are learning so much. We have a head office now, man cave, studios, gaming studios. You're going to be very surprised how quickly this builds up. And that's the thing, guys. Use something. I used crypto to get the money. It then gave me purpose and then taught me to give back. And now basically what happens after that is to share to the next. And it allowed me to create this. And they're going to be able to go create the rest. And you need to do the same. When you make something for your life, I understand what success really means. What success means in my eyes is, yes, having financial stability, but having my mom next to me at work every day, having a beautiful family, beautiful house, and having my best friends with me that don't slave with jobs every single day. We can play when we want. We can do what we want. You get to do that, but you have to do you first. I left the city. I went alone. I did it first. Now I can start helping. Now I can bring them in. And now we're creating something incredible. So The Chosen Ones is just a story. It's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I don't know where it goes.
Yeah.
I have no idea where it goes, but it's going.
We're
And that's
trusting
the
the process and the flow of where it goes. But yeah, I think that there's some really exciting
Right now I'm
things coming up.
tasing them and stuff. Like, I don't think it was going that way, but guys, it's the start. Like, let's humiliate ourselves in the beginning. Why? Because I'm trying to teach them a lesson. It doesn't get worse than that. Don't be afraid anymore. You know how scared people are to talk in front of cameras and to share their emotions and to do all these sort of things. Now you've just been shocked on the internet and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't get worse than that. Don't be afraid of nothing. So I went a bit hard on these boys in the beginning.
Oh, but they love it.
They love it. They do
love
love it.
They love it.
But ultimately, what it's doing is it's just getting them to not be afraid. And they want it. They want it so much. So yeah, Chosen Ones is the next chapter.
Yeah.
The personal channel and the Chosen Ones is where I go after crypto.
Okay. Awesome. So where to now on the personal channel? I know you've got a whole lot of interviews lined up. You've spoken to quite some people with stories. You've got Shani.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of podcasts that are coming up. I'm going to Miami. So Miami is going to be an incredible trip. I'm going to show you, I focus every day on being a good person and doing these things. I'm going to show you how this world rewards you for that. Like, we're going to have an incredible time in Miami. You're going to see the fans. You're going to see how it's just like this beautiful culture. So you're going to get a lot of Miami. And then you're going to see how we built this whole place. And there's so much to come.
Definitely.
But Mom, I love you lots. I think we're like
I love
on
you
2 or
too.
3 hours from this thing. You better smash the like button for 3 hours. Comment below what you guys resonated with and what you enjoyed. And this might be a part 1, part 2. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for all the love. Thank you for the support, Mom.
Yeah,
Thank
just never give up, never quit, never give in. Keep on fighting for yourself. Remember, you're doing this for you. Show up for yourself. No one else is going to. Show up for yourself. Do this for you. And
Make it happen.
make it happen.
Thank you, guys.